So it's about that time when I talked to you about the Dragon Prince once again. I certainly did not think that I would still be anticipating Season 4 all these months later, but if I'm going to have to keep waiting for that, I couldn't think of a better group of people to wait with than y'all. I will admit that I've gotten a little desperate waiting for Season 4 of The Dragon Prince. Will it come out soon? Will it come out in 2021? We still have a couple months left in the year, so it's a possibility, but who knows at this point. All I can say is that I am so glad that I have had the Owl House and Amphibia to discuss during 2021. If that had not been the case, it would have been very difficult for me to go and try and keep this channel running with new videos. I probably would have lost my mind. When I rebooted this channel in 2019, I planned for it primarily to be an Avatar: The Last Airbender channel. When The Dragon Prince came close to airing its third season and my Dragon Prince videos started doing well, I really doubled down on my Dragon Prince analyses. And those videos carried me through difficult times for the channel, so Avatar and the Dragon Prince were the two main pillars of this channel for a while, and both those franchises have seen very few updates in these last several years. Now, I don't mean to complain too much. That's not my point. I'm not trying to be self-pitying. I'm not trying to elicit your sympathy. I'm just saying that it has been almost 2 years since we have gotten Season 3 of The Dragon Prince, and we have still received very little information about Season 4, just little spurts and spats of updates here and there. I remember thinking that I was kind of pessimistic when I predicted the show would air its next season in April 2021. A date that is already 4 to 5 months past at this point. So will Season 4 air at the end of 2021, or will we have to wait until 2022? And if we have to wait until 2022, how much longer will we have to wait? Who knows? It has become clear from the Dragon Prince's Comic-Con panel this year that when the show was not immediately renewed for a 4th season, production had to completely shut down, and when, and only when, the show was renewed in July 2020, the production started back up again. That is a big problem. Although the gap between July 2020 and now is longer than any of the gaps between seasons, not even counting all the months between when Season 3 aired and when the show was renewed, there are different factors we need to take into account. The production of the previous seasons overlapped. That is why they were able to release these seasons in relatively quick succession. For instance, they might be writing episodes for Season 3 while animation for Season 1 is going on. What this means, practically, is that writing for the show and storyboarding for the show and all those preliminary steps had not been going on for a long time. Probably since early 2019, if not even earlier than that. So, when the show was finally renewed in summer 2020, they had to start back up the writing process, start back up the storyboarding process. They had to try and resurrect the franchise completely from scratch. The Dragon Prince team very much had the time to go and make more seasons of the show, but they couldn't. They were stopped because the show had not yet been renewed for a 4th season. Production on animated shows does take that long. Now that the show is back running, they have resumed the same terrorist structure that they used during the making of Seasons 1 through 3. In the Comic-Con panel, they mentioned that they were writing the plots for Season 6, even though, of course, Season 4 is not yet aired yet. That is how spread out the process is. And because it is spread out, The gap between Season 4 and Season 5 will probably be significantly shorter than the gap between Season 3 and Season 4. But of course, all of that is little solace to all of us who have been waiting patiently or otherwise for the show over the last 2 or so years. A lot has happened in those last 2 years. Back in November 2019, if you had told me that we were going to be struck by a terrifying pandemic, I would have called you crazy. I was 20 years old back then, and now I'm about to turn 22. I'm entering my 3rd year of college at Columbia. It's been a long time. So is there any hope, any at all, that we are going to finally get Season 4 of this wonderful show, The Dragon Prince, by the end of 2021? It's possible? I hope so? I don't want to be the one making these bold predictions. I've made a lot of predictions in the past that didn't turn out to be true, and while I was making those predictions in good faith, unlike some, I was not well informed enough that I had any real information about when the show was going to air its 4th season. I was just working on speculation, and speculation that perhaps looks a bit arrogant or presumptuous in hindsight. So I will just pose the question of, is a year and a half, meaning from July 2020, when production resumed, to December 2021, the end of this year, enough time for them to make an entire season of the show? And I'm not sure. Perhaps. The production process for animation is, again, I can't stress this enough, very, very long. I just got done watching The Owl House. It's gone on hiatus, and storyboarders working on The Owl House were talking about how they were storyboarding the episodes that had just come out right in the middle of 2021, back when the pandemic struck and the transition from work to work from home happened. Basically, to put that in temporal terms, episodes airing in August 2021 were being storyboarded all the way back in February and March 2020. That's a gap of about 16 or 17 months. Quite a significant chunk of time. So, if the Dragon Prince, say, took 16, 17 months from the start of production to putting out a finished Season 4, that would mean the 4th season of the show would air sometime around the end of the year. Now, that is perhaps being a little optimistic, and production could keep the show from being released until 2022, which would be unfortunate, but even if that does happen, I don't think the release date for Season 4 is going to be pushed back much further than the first couple months of 2022. A year, year and a half is fairly typical. Once you get to 2 years, that is quite long, even by animation standards, at least for television. So unless the Dragon Prince has some sort of production hiccup, which I don't presume, we will be getting Season 4 sometime before next summer. I realize that's not at all an optimistic prediction, and it is possible that we could get it before Christmas time and New Year's, but all I'm comfortable saying for practically certain is that we are going to get Season 4 of the show before summer 2022 rolls around. My official pessimistic prediction is April 2022, as I finish up the year of school I'm about to start, just a little past the vernal equinox. My neutral prediction would probably be January or February. My optimistic prediction would be November or December of this year. Now, again, this does not mean we will have to wait as long for the seasons of the show that come after Season 4. And I highly suspect that we might even get Season 5 by the end of 2022. I think the 6 to 9 month time gap that we saw between Season 1 and Season 2 and between Season 2 and Season 3 will be about the length we get between Season 4 and Season 5, between Season 5 and Season 6, and between Season 6 and Season 7. So, based on that, I think the show is probably going to finish airing sometime late 2023, early 2024, which again is a long, long way from now. I don't think we need to think that far ahead, but once we get to the end of the show, whenever that is, and look back on the fandom and on the long road that all of us went down from the beginning of the show to its conclusion, we'll look upon this long, long 2-year time gap as an aberration. That is absolutely not going to be the norm for the show going forward. If I had to guess, I'd say that parts of the show are already done animating for Season 4. I don't have any guarantees as to that, but it's certainly possible. I do believe that 95% of those "when will Show X release Season Y" videos are baseless. It can be very hard to predict anything that nebulous and that far ahead. Now, that does not mean all prediction videos are the same. In mine, I've tried to estimate with reasoning, with dignity, and without sensationalism. I've tried to give you my honest opinions as I felt. Now, that does not mean all of my opinions were right. In fact, a lot of them were not, but there's a big difference between all those clickbaity videos that are just trying to get people sucked in with some false promises, and videos like mine and videos like a lot of people have been making that are genuinely trying to guess what's going to happen with the release schedule of the show, as hard as that is to predict. If you ask me, I think they're going to give us a trailer in the next couple months. So to end this video, I will ask y'all if y'all are as excited about Season 4 of The Dragon Prince as you were a couple years ago. Sound off in the comments below. And don't feel bad if your opinion is that you're not as excited. I'm not quite as excited either. There's a lot of stuff I'm really interested to see what the show does with. I'm really interested to see how they complicate and undermine the ostensibly happy and peaceful ending at the end of Season 3. There's a lot of options they can take. But 2 years is a long time. And I hope the show will still feel as fresh once we see those next couple seasons. Here's hoping. So thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Donate to my Patreon if you can and you want to see more videos like this. Keep watching The Dragon Prince. What are you most looking forward to in regards to Season 4? How long have you been waiting for Season 4? Have you been there since the show first went on hiatus back in November 2019? Or are you a newer fan? I would love to know. Please tell us. Anyway, tune in soon for my next analysis. It will be coming soon, I promise you that. Thank you all again. Adios, comrades.